So then, I want to tell you a little bit. I started out in OB-GYN because I really love deliveries. Birthing those babies, I'm telling you, Scarlett O'Hara is just ever near my heart, Miss Prissy, you know. So I started out birthing a baby. Now I want to tell you something. As a resident, it's pretty tough, okay? I mean, whoo. So one day, it was my time to be on call for the whole hospital. That meant everybody who came in labor, I had to assess them and follow them, okay? So here comes this woman. It's her third baby. Woo! Is she ever happy because she's in labor? I know those feelings myself. But nevertheless, she comes in. She's so excited. So I get her into bed, check her and everything. She says, how far along am I? And I says, honey, you are 2 centimeters. She just got about 8 more to go. So anyway, so as she says, wasn't long till she said, I want an epidural. I thought, honey, you just got here. So anyway, I go back down, I check her, and she says, well, what am I? I says, honey, you're just 2. She says, I want an epidural. So I think, okay. So anyway, I go call the doctor. I said, she is requesting an epidural. He said, I tell you what, give her a pain shot. So we gave her a shot of Stadol. So, all right, so then, wasn't long till she said, I want an epidural! You could just hear her all down the hall. And so, anyway, I thought, oh, man, so I go back in and check her again. She says, how far along am I now? And I said, 2. She's like, no, I want an epidural! And so I go back and call the doctor, and he said, well, give her another pain shot. So now she's had 2 pain shots. All right, so now she's still yelling, I want an epidural. So I go back and call the doctor. And he said, I tell you what, call anesthesia. See if they can come up and give her an epidural, even though she's not far enough along. So I was so happy. I thought, yay, we're going to get somebody to come help us. So anesthesia comes up, they go in the room, and they come back out. And I thought, listen, I know you're good, but you're that good. So anyway, I run over to look at his chart, and he said she was not a candidate for an epidural. And I thought, oh, rats. So anyway, I had to call the doctor back, so we give her a 3rd Stadol. Well, it wasn't long, so she's had 3 shots. Wasn't long till she's yelling, I'm gonna push. So the nurse comes in, she says, Dr. Scott, get back down here, get back down here. So she says, her husband's sitting there, he says, can't you do something for her? And he says, she's killing me. She wants me just to take my fist and just knock her out. You know? And I thought, okay, now what can I do? I thought, I've had Lamaze. I will just teach her a little bit about Lamaze. So she's hanging on to the side of the bed, and she's hollering, I'm going to push, like this. And I go over and I'm going to console her. And so I reach over, and I said, now just take some deep breaths in and relax. She reaches up and grabs me by my shirt, yanks me over to bed with her. So I'm laying in the bed looking at her like this. And she looks at me and she says, I said I'm going to push. And I said, look, lady, I don't care what you do, just let me out of this bed with you. So anyway, I get out of the bed and I'm going to run down the hall and I'm going to tell the doctor what the latest finding was. I did find myself in the bed with the patient. So nevertheless, we go back down through there. The nurse hollers, Dr. Scott, you know. And I thought, okay, so we go back down there and she's getting everything ready at the end of the table. Now I thought, oh, she's getting the salad bowls ready. I can't stand it. And it dawned on me, oh my God, I'm the only one here. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. So I start putting on my little booties. The nurse says, leave them booties off and get over here. And I thought, I can't do this. I can't. She says, I said, leave them booties off, get over here. So I get over there at the end of the bed and I had my gloves on. I got my gloves on. This woman spit that baby out at me. And I thought, woo, like this. I grabbed it by its leg. It was running up and down my belly. And I was like that. The nurse was hollering, hand it to me. And I thought, where, it's still attached, you know. And so anyway, I thought, it's hanging on. This is before bungee started, you know. But nevertheless, so we finally get the baby cut apart and give it over to the nurse. And so then the doctor comes in about this time. Well, but now, see, all the Stadol shots have kicked in. And so the patient looks at the doctor and she said, she said 3 of everything. You and you and you. I'm mad at all 3 of you. And then she turned around and looked at me and she said, Dr. Scott, did I shit on myself? And I said, no, but I almost did.